communications, collaboration, and cooperation in the county. We focus on fostering relationships among leaders from all sectors. It's probably my favorite aspect of the organization. Education, government, foreign nonprofits, ministry. We want every leader in this community to feel welcome and to be engaged in this dialogue. We believe that more voices and more leaders serving together create stronger communities. In simple terms, these are the movers and shakers in the 18 cities that we serve in northeastern County. We have government officials and business owners. We're looking for more. If you know of anyone who is not yet engaged in this organization, please let us know. You'll see membership applications on your tables, and there's no time like the present. One of our greatest things that we get to do with the Northeast Leadership Forum is provide scholarships for graduating area high school seniors through a partnership with the NLF Foundation. This is all made possible by working together. First, I'd like to thank our Heart of North Texas co-chairs and all of our sponsors for our fall event, which those proceeds, the net proceeds, go directly into funding our scholarships. Kathy Robert, Radonna Hessel, Craig Holst, and the rest of the committee, could you please stand to be recognized? And thank you to all the NLF board members, volunteers, and partners that engage high school, families, and students each year. With that, it's my honor to welcome Carolyn Sims, Chair of the NLF Education Foundation, who has a major announcement. Thank you, Carolyn.
And I was a recipient of the NLF scholarship in 2019. Now I'm a senior about to graduate in May from the University of Texas at Austin with a bachelor's in civil engineering. It's difficult to quantify my appreciation for this scholarship because the effects go beyond all the opportunities the scholarship has afforded me.
Now, of course, along with the student always comes a very proud father, who I think is here today, Jack Bradshaw. Oh, he'll stand. Please express to Olivia our sincere congratulations and best wishes for her as she goes forward. When I was talking about the schools, I'm talking about GCISD, HEB, Birdville, Southlake, Carroll, Northwest, Keller, and Westlake. So we have a lot of students to choose from. We wish we could give a lot of scholarships too, but we grow constantly by being able to give more as we go along. The exciting thing that's happened in the last couple of years is now we are also giving scholarships to students who are going to trade schools. So they're not necessarily going to a college, but they've made a choice to go to a trade school. And we have been able to do that. And it's just great to see that we can help these students as well as the ones that are going to college. So as we go forward, we hope that all the students return to our May breakfast so they can be recognized and get computers. But if any of your kids have applied and they make it, don't tell them they're getting a computer. That'll be like that, be a surprise. But please, thank you, because this event in the heart of North Texas that we did helps us be able to give scholarships. NLF is one of our biggest supporters and team to be a part of this. So thank you very much. I'm glad you're here today.
Excellent, thank you very much. We're excited. We also want to mention that it's Howard who pioneered that program for us to be able to offer scholarships for trades and for different types of vocational education. So thank you, Howard, for pioneering that and the work that you did. It's very exciting that the Ham Foundation has also stepped up beyond what they normally do with our university and college scholarships, and they're offering to underwrite that and support us this year. Thank you for that, Charlie. Thank you to the Ham Foundation. Next, it's my honor to introduce Dr. Hurst from TCC and TCC Foundation for a special announcement. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. That may be the worst response ever. All right, let's try again. I think I'm getting it over to the microphone. Good afternoon, everyone. Fabulous. I'm Dr. Keller. I have the joy of serving with an amazing group of professionals at Keller County College. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the members of our board who are present here today. And so if you are a member of the Board of Trustees, Tarrant County College, will you please stand? Thank you, Trustee Bowden. We also have members of our TCC Foundation Board with us. If you would please stand or raise your hands to be acknowledged. Mr. Conrad. And of course, forever a member of our TCC family, Dr. Larry Darland, always happy to see you. And yes. And I'm so thankful to my colleagues who come from a wide array of places within the institution, our general counsel, Carol Bracken, our associate general counsel, and all the members of the TCC family who have joined me this morning just as we celebrate being a part of this amazing community. I just wanted to share something very briefly with you as Dr. Mercer was talking about the range of educational opportunity, and Carol entitled Building a Talent Strong Texas, and it reads in the introduction this way. Entering the middle of the 21st century, Texas has the 9th largest economy in the world. We are an established global leader as we constantly modernize, expand, and diversify. Our success is powered by our increasingly educated workforce. Texans have earned more degrees, certificates, and credentials over the past decade than at any other time in history. And Texas has outpaced every other state in growing our undergraduate and graduate student enrollment. Give yourselves a round of applause. It goes on to say, but, anybody remember conjunction, junction, what's your function? So what is a conjunction? It means that we are changing gears, right? Okay, I see you smiling and nodding, here we go. But the economy is always changing. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated trends that were already underway in how Texans learn, work, connect, and use technology. And now, more than ever, a growing number of jobs require credentials beyond high school diplomas. To meet these challenges, Texas institutions of higher education must expand opportunities for all Texans to earn degrees, certificates, and other credentials. More specifically, the state must lead the nation in awarding credentials of value that offer purpose in the economy, value in the labor market, and opportunities for good jobs and meaningful careers. It ends this way. That is the Texas way. So I just wanted to say thank you for those of you who ever attended Tarrant County College or Tarrant County Junior College. Will you raise your hands? Phenomenal. You know the value that the institution carries. What we want you to know in this contemporary context is that we offer the opportunity for people to change their lives, to upskill, to reskill, as we partner with business and industry to make a difference for our community. If there is any way that we can partner with you, or that you would like to partner with us, don't hesitate to let us know. And thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris Falcon. And thank you, TCC, and the TCC Foundation for matching our scholarships and for working with us to make these student experiences extraordinary. It is my honor to introduce now Dr. Faye Blue, NLF board member, 2011 chair of this board, and recently retired executive from United Way of Tarrant County. Welcome, Faye.
Good afternoon. As you are aware, Northeast Leadership Forum assembles an association of leaders and groups who enrich Northeast Tarrant County through the channels of business, government, education, and community service. Many of you will recall that over the past several years, NLF has intentionally called out and recognized several groups whose presence and service have made unique contributions to the quality of life in Northeast Tarrant County. These groups have included first responders, chambers of commerce, and school district boards and superintendents. Today, we continue in that vein of tribute, choosing to honor some of the nonprofits whose work addresses the challenges faced by Northeast Tarrant residents on virtually, if not actually, a daily basis. Because our time today is limited, To nonprofits who are members of NLF, there may be groups you know are doing great work in our community who are not included here. All of our Tarrant County nonprofits provide valuable services and are appreciated. Our purpose here today, however, is to lift up specifically those who choose to express their collaborative spirit through partnering with NLF in membership. Before the pandemic, our nonprofit organizations were hard at work providing services to meet the needs of many in our community. During those long months, even years, when we found ourselves facing the ravages of a previously unknown virus, those social service agencies went above and beyond their mission to bring needed relief and comfort to many. Today, we see those organizations continuing in their efforts to meet the needs of older adults, families, and individuals who may need a hand up, or maybe even more importantly, need someone to walk alongside them as they progress toward the realization of their dreams. These nonprofits provide us with hope for an even better community. They have shown us the power of collaboration through efforts like Empowering Seniors, which brings nonprofits into partnership with the county, businesses, and hospitals to increase access to resources for older adults while reducing isolation. And perhaps you had a glimpse of the all-hands-on-deck efforts in the arena of food insecurity when United Way, Tarrant Area Food Bank, and other agencies partnered with school districts to keep families fed when normal access to nutrition were upended. These are the kinds of cooperative work we're celebrating today. Work that was on the ground before the pandemic, found a way to continue to address needs during that time, and is taking us forward toward a stronger Northeast Tarrant County even now. As I call the name of the specific organization, I would like for the CEO or designee to stand, along with any board members or other volunteers who are present. In the interest of time, now these are very specific instructions, so listen up. In the interest of time, please hold your applause, and after the representatives from all agencies are standing, we will honor all with a corporate round of applause. At the conclusion of today's program, we'd like for the representatives from each group recognized to come to the front for a group photo and to receive a gift for the agency from NLF. Let's get started. Our first agency is Alliance for Children, CEO Julie Evans. Would those representing Alliance for Children please stand? Thank you. I know Julie's here, I talked to her. There she is. Okay, they're over here. Next is Community Enrichment Center, CEO Brian Downer. Would those here with CEC please stand? Next is Grace, CEO Shonda Schaefer. Would those representing Grace please stand? Some of you are doing double duty if you know who I'm talking about. Then we have Metroport Meals on Wheels, CEO Mary King. Mary, would you and those with you please stand? Then we have Mission Central, CEO Catherine Hollis. Catherine, would you please stand along with any of your staff and volunteers? And we have serving our seniors. You've already met CEO Elizabeth Grace. Elizabeth, would you please stand along with any of your volunteers? And then we have Six Stones, CEO Jennifer Leaney. Jen, would you and those here with you please stand? And finally, We have United Way of Tarrant County, here's my own card, CEO Leo King. With those representing United Way, please stand. Our heartfelt gratitude to these organizations who have taught us by example that we need each other, that we cannot go it alone. May we have a round of applause celebrating these organizations.
Thank you very much, Faye, and thank you all for the good work you've done over the recent years of COVID. It's my honor now to introduce Mary Frazier, President and CEO of the HB Chamber of Commerce, and NLF board member, to introduce our honoree.
Thank you, Eli. Today, I have the honor and privilege of introducing the Northeast Leadership Forum's 2022 recipient of the Distinguished Leadership Award, Howard Shotwell. Howard, would you please join me on stage? Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, good. And while Howard's making his way up here, I'd like to also ask the 2021 recipient of the award, Tito Rodriguez, to join me. We're going to put you on the hot seat.
When Howard served as NLF chairman in 2021, he immediately put something into action that had been talked about for a long time, but nothing was done about. As Eli mentioned, and I believe Faye mentioned, or Carolyn, Howard launched the NLF Education Foundation Vocational Scholarship Program.
And you personally raised $12,500
For the program,
and much of that was donated by Howard in his life saving.
but never satisfied with his full achievement, he then met with the leaders from Tarrant County College Foundation
And secured an agreement from them. I'm giving a signal here, sorry. He got an agreement with the foundation. He had an agreement with the foundation to match the scholarships of any of the recipients that ended up attending any TCC school, which raised this amount to over $20,000. And this was all because Howard saw an unmet need for graduating high school seniors who needed promising careers that did not include a four-year university. I met Howard in, I believe it was 2007, when he expressed an interest in joining the Northeast Leadership Forum. He had concluded his 32-year career managing airport concessions for Marriott, Dobbs Houses, and Delaware North. And this was all across the United States, and included DFW International Airport. He then became treasurer and CFO for Coors Distributing of Fort Worth, a position he held for 12 years until the company was sold. In addition to his many other responsibilities, he had been president and CEO of R&D Associates, a real estate and development company, for 40 years. I admire Howard for his service to our community and his continuous high level of personal commitment since moving to Hurst with his wife Sandy in 1990. Let me tell you about the Howard Shotwell that I know, the public service actor. Howard served 5 years on the Hurst Parks and Recreation Board. He's now in his 12th year on the Hurst Planning and Zoning Commission. He and Sandy are graduates of Hurst 101, the Citizens Leadership Academy, the Hurst Citizens Fire Academy, and the Hurst Citizens Police Academy. He chaired the Hurst Citizens Fire Academy Alumni Association for 5 years, and then he co-chaired or chaired the Hurst Fire Department their state dinner fundraiser for 9 years. Every year, Howard and Sandy have personally bought and delivered steaks and potatoes to each Hurst fire station for the firefighters to cook and enjoy. And Howard raised $25,000 to help build the kids' fire trailer that served as an educational tool to teach children about fire safety. As you can tell, Howard has a heart for anything regarding the city of Hurst. But after falling short in 2 campaigns for city council, Howard decided that being the wizard behind the curtain was more valuable than being the wizard himself. Howard is chair of the Northeast Tarrant Chamber of Commerce and twice served as chairman for the DFW International Airport Employees United Way Drive. I got to know Howard better when he served on the board of the HEB Chamber of Commerce and chaired our business advocacy program. And Howard, that was 3 years, I believe, that you held that chairmanship. Howard was always thoughtful in his discourse, and he kept me from making a few political blunders during that time. He gives sound advice and will always be a mentor to me. Despite his and his wife's health issues, Howard continues to motivate us all. He has lost 80 pounds in his current fight against prostate cancer. So he's been using a walker for a short while, and only in the past 2 weeks has he started taking steps without that walker. And you saw some of those steps today on the stage, as he came to the stage. Please join me in recognizing a real gentleman, a man who personifies courage and unselfishly makes a difference in others' lives. The 22 recipient of the Northeast Leadership Forum's Distinguished Leadership Award, Howard Shotwell.
Thank you all so much. I'll try to make this microphone work because no one's ever accused me of being too quiet. So, Mary, thank you for the kind words. I'm hoping it's too early to ask you to do my eulogy, but I'd like to put you on the list if you don't mind. Yeah, okay. My comments will be brief today. I have a difficult time standing or sitting, so anyway, and I know most of you in this room know my wife, Sandy. She's my rock, and she's not with me today. She has her medical issues that we're fighting, but she'll be okay. I want to thank my late friend, Gary Johnson, who was president of Mercantile Bank at the time, and he introduced me to Northeast Leadership Forum. He actually was president of Banquet, Texas at Hurst at that time. I love this organization, as it's been my honor to serve it and with the board's help that year create the Vocational Scholarship Program. I appreciate the NLF Foundation, the TCC Foundation, along with the HAM Foundation that provided an additional $11,000 for vocational scholarships this year. It's a priority near and dear to my heart, and I've loved being a member of the team, and I get to do the scholarship review of the applications every year. Been doing that for quite a while. Matter of fact, that's coming up here in about 2 weeks. I would like to introduce the people that are at my table, if they would kind of stand when I mention their name. Assuming I'm talking loud enough. Larry Anthony and his wife Karen. Larry was president of Hurst Distributing Company and my boss for the last several years. He and I were the kind of people that would meet on Saturday morning when no one was there, share coffee and solve the world problems. So we're still doing that. He comes to my house about 2 or 3 times a month, and we share the world's problems. I have Rick Weaver and Jody Malden with me. They're good friends of ours that have helped us through some of our issues with health needs and so forth. Melissa, who I think you saw, she is my nurse, my caregiver, my good friend, who has just really been an angel for me in the last 6 months. Mike Broom is my attorney of about how many years. And then there's Gene Gurley, the financial advisor. The reason I tell you the titles, many times I have said to folks, when you get to be my age, your closest friends are doctors, lawyers, accountants, and priests. I have 3 or 4 there today, so if somebody really wants to volunteer to be the priest, I'll take it. So, at any rate, and I'd like to thank the Hurst EMS service, how many times they've, Lord, taken us to the hospital. What a wonderful organization. Unfortunately, we're losing our current chief. No, he's not going anywhere else. He says it's time to hunt fish. And we have a new chief. But what an awesome organization our police department and fire department is in Hurst. Nick Sanders, I know you're sitting down here in front of me. Nick was so gracious to change terms with me. I was supposed to be chairman, I think, in 2020, and I was fighting cancer then. And Nick traded places with me so I could be chairman of this organization the next year. Larry Antman, who I introduced earlier, it was with his generosity that he allowed me to divert some of our support funds from Coors Distributing to Northeast Tarrant County and our communities out here. It kind of became my program. Larry took care of Fort Worth, and I tried to take care of Northeast Tarrant County. And I'm, forever grateful for having that opportunity. And by the way, Larry was the recipient of this Distinguished Leadership Award in 2013. And how could I not thank my friends at the City of Hurst, Mayor Henry Wilson, and the City Council, which I think they're over in that area somewhere, and the staff, the City of Hurst. What wonderful people to work with, and it's still my pleasure to be able to serve the city in a different way. I also want to thank each of you for being here, for participating. I thank Eli for his leadership this year. You will have an amazing individual leading the organization to the next step. And I don't want to say last but not least, but I'm finishing this speech here. But Charlie Powell, sitting right here, has been a very dear friend for a long time. I appreciate his nomination for this award this year. And I think as someone said, my weight loss program, I lost 80 pounds, but I don't recommend it to anybody. So Charlie, I may be needing a loan for some new clothes because this isn't my finest outfit. So anyway, again, y'all don't know what an honor this is for me and for my wife Sandy to receive the award, and I'm so appreciative of this organization. I love the organization, and I plan to participate as much as I can moving forward. Thank you.
work with the recipients of this award. Many of you in this room have received the award, and I'd just like to take a moment to honor all of those of you who won this award in the past. Would you please stand and take a round of applause? Thank you very much. This truly is an honor to get to serve an organization with this caliber of leadership. Next, it's my honor to introduce friend and past recipient of this award, John Fletcher, to introduce our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Mike. Apparently, not everybody got the message about wearing the Nehru jackets today. So, now some people are by nature practical jokers. So, my friend, our speaker, Aslam, when he spoke at the Rotary Club in Fort Worth back in November, he said, let's wear our Nehru, he bought this for me. And he said, let's wear our Nehru jackets, and we did. And so, he calls and says, hey, let's wear our Nehru jackets again today. Well, I did, he didn't. So, setting a new fashion trend. By the way, you had a bit of an experiment today. Did you enjoy the meal today? Was that great? That's the new entree, Church's Chicken. Okay, maybe not, but maybe it could be inspiring the next one. But if you were the first person in your family to go to school, then you could maybe relate to him, and especially if you had to walk through a wild jungle to get there and cross a river with water chest high to get there. You got to really want to have that education. And if you were somebody that you thought you'd go to apply for that first job, and because you'd been in management at the American Embassy, you think, okay, so I'll go to Church's Chicken, I'm going to get that job as a manager. You get turned down rather ingloriously, which is what happened to our speaker. Then what he did was he went to another Church's Chicken, got a job, washing dishes. He'll tell you more about it. And it's not too many years later that he had 300 Church's Chickens. He has won a few little awards. He was named the Entrepreneur of the Year from the International Franchise Association. That's representing 1,400 brands. That's not just food, that's also services, that's all kinds of businesses. It's a heavy hitter. It's a big award. He won the biggest leadership award from them. Dallas Business Journal named him in 2018 the most admired CEO. In 2017, he was named the top CEO by the Fort Worth Business Press. This is somebody special. He's won all the highest awards. And he's going to touch your heart with some of the things that he's done as a leader to help grow his companies, change people's lives, and make them better. So please welcome the entrepreneur, the motivator, the philanthropist, CEO of Falcon Holdings, my friend Aslam Khan. Okay, here's update. Can y'all hear us okay? Okay, have a seat. Okay. Why don't you tell us about what it takes to be a leader?
Well, I wrote down some of the stuff. After my lung transplant, I think I'm beginning up memories.
And thanks again for wearing the matching jacket today. I appreciate it.
Well, I had a surgery a few months back about double lung transplant. So I had to lose the weight. Otherwise, I would. So the logistics once I lose the weight, after the jacket, last night the shoulders were hanging down there like a grandpa's wine.
Well, the good news was the 15 pounds that he lost, I can. So I just want to say you're welcome.
So I wrote down some of the stuff, but I started kind of thinking about the life that I was in, that I don't want to live, and I want to change the status quo. When I was around 10, 12 years old, I didn't even know what the status quo meant at that time. But I knew one thing, that I don't want to live poverty. Poverty was extreme at that time. Very stressful. India might come 200 years under their control, whatever they gathered up, they took it and buried up. They were left, but there was no cash left. Farmers, which is why my father was a farmer, they used to grow their own food if they were but not enough to survive. So I personally didn't like the way the lifestyle was at that time because the poverty, you didn't know where you had a breakfast, where your lunch gonna come, and here's the money. You didn't know if there would be anything there. So I thought that I'm gonna leave because I was in a place where now I'm trying to make it look like a city, but at that time it was just a village with no road, no running water, transportation, any kind, nothing. So I left home and went to near the city. And then worked a lot of hard jobs and got myself education. I mean, the only way out is education. And if you don't have education, you're gonna maybe live a little bit better, but you're not gonna see totally change the status quo. So that, after finished the college, I ended up in American history. And a lot of people are. As a matter of fact, 40 years later, they just gave me a award or something. 40 years later, I didn't know the number. But I spent 8.5 years there. And the government, you don't make money. It's a fancy suit, fancy offices, because we pay for it. But there's not enough money for the government now. And that wouldn't have helped me change what I wanted to do in life. I kept on writing on a little slate, not the big fancy paper, but slates, and then wiped it all off, my goals, and it ended up with a big list, and I said, I can't get it done. Because it's done. So anyway, I came over here trying to find a job, and I got the job, and kind of lead, so to speak. So I went for an interview. The guy kicked me out of there, and I looked at the sign, and I said, well, this is the Texas chicken. I want to teach them civility. Because he was, and not that he didn't give me a job. I was well dressed, a young guy like him. I didn't have a problem. I wasn't a bad looking guy either, but he just whatever he didn't like some stuff. And I asked him, he didn't want to give me but anyway, I went back to apartment and changed my clothes, put a jean, t-shirt, and ended up in the restaurant. And he said, I will be such a job. I said, that's what I need. So I picked up the job as a dishwasher. 10 years later, I was the CEO of the company, so that's, you know, end of that story. Oh,
Don't forget that.
It just, I think it, so that was that story, and then I.
Just a moment, share feedback. Let me solve that.
Thank you. And then I bought my first 100 restaurant. It was bankrupt and nobody wanted to touch them. And I said, hey, I don't have much anyway. If I fail, I fail, but that's not in my DNA. Failure is not an option. So I took over. I was losing about $5 million at that time. That was end of 1990s. And then I turned around that in 1 year, $7 million. So that was a $20 million. And that's how I made my name. And then people started calling me, I have a company with you, I have a company. So one day, Franchise Time wrote an article about turnaround king. So I was anything but the king, but that worked for me. And yeah, I am today.
Tell us about the guy that turned you down. What happened to him?
When I became CEO, he was a vice president, he used to walk by my office. Good morning, sir. I didn't say it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, but we worked together about 4 years after that.
You were kinder to him than he was to you.
What is it?
You were kinder to him than he was to you, so go ahead.
Yes. So, hey, you gotta be nice with people. I am not in chicken business. I am not in burger business. I'm not in Piccadilly. I don't do none of that stuff that people do. But I am in people business. People are make you or break you. So, in that, I believe a core of my heart about people. And I work for you by the way. John asked me to give some tidbits, and I met some of you over here smarter than me. I can't even pronounce a lot of stuff today. I try to do. By the way, somebody taught me to how to speak slow, because in India, Pakistan, too many words like spinach, and meaning one word. So I've been keeping marble in my mouth for months to slow down the tongue, to retrain myself to speak softly and slowly so people can understand. So, and John asked me to write down this time. I kind of, well, first of all, thank you all of you to invite me over here. John, thank you.
My pleasure.
And next time, I'm going to
You ready
get
to
the
join us?
license.
No, we're not. No, we're good. By the way, he gave me the matching tennis shoes. He wears these tennis shoes, and so he sent me some. And so they are Q, yeah, I guess they are, and they feel like house shoes. So just to let you know, he's colder than you. So
I use those kind of things because I don't have to prove to anybody. I have to prove to myself that I'm worth something. So I did it. So all the money that now we make, we have a separate company. It goes to the God's work. Since God gave me a new life, and every single day I'm doing something. I'm not frying chicken, I'm not cooking butter, but I'm helping people every day. And I think that's God gave me second chance. He has some purpose for me, and I want a new purpose. Coming from that poverty, become multi-millionaire wasn't a satisfaction equal to what I do now, helping somebody. I was a couple of months ago with this time. I was in Pakistan. The guy came and he said, "You remember me?" I said, "Yeah, I remember you." He said, "I'm that guy where they used to do the corn and wheat and grind and stuff. And I cannot hear anymore. So it didn't cost me much. $200 I fixed his ears. Now he's jumping up and down and calling me once in a while. That my word woke up his head.
yeah.
I was sleeping. So that $200 word is a lunch money. But for somebody it was a life-changing thing in a third world country.
Tell us about the culture of innovation that you have. Because one thing that he did is he was engaged by TGI Fridays through the money people to turn it around. Tell us how you did that.
Well, the TGI Friday is a big company, $3.5 billion. So he had from bakery from Warren. And their friend of mine, they were asking 6 months every day, could you go there for, give us a 60% of your time for 1 year. But we are starting again for this to go down. So I went there exactly about 11 and a half months. I came back, but I negative 1 million to positive 70 million. And I left, sold it, got them out, and came back to my work. So it can be done, we just have to have a heart in the right place. A lot of people just money gets to their head, because sometimes money comes too quick, people don't know what to do with it. So they destroy it, money destroy it. So it comes slowly, and you pay it every step of the way, and you can handle it. So, I always build a people-driven organization. I just came back from Indianapolis. All my job is meeting people, meeting dishwashers, meeting the servers, meeting assistant manager, asking them, oh, what do you think I could do for you? Many of them have something, rather ask them, we make a note, come back and religiously put it in and really execute it and implement their request. And the other thing is culture of organization. A lot of companies have good culture. Some new one struggling with it. I think the one in Piccadilly is about over 100-some years old. And we took over and I said, we're not gonna do anything other than we're gonna upgrade the food, cook from scratch, no microwaves in the restaurant, and no frozen product. And that company was losing $25 million. The banker hired me. And I told him, I said, if I take people out to X point where I can get money, how much money do you have in it left? He said $25 million. I said, if I could get you $25 million in a year or so, would you take it? He said, yes, I want to get out of this. Well, guess what? Well, you know what the EBITDA is now? $15 million. After paying everything and loan on that. But people, the culture they wanted to change. Because they were young, they thought, you don't change nothing. Change the quality of people, quality of product, and quality of service. That's how we have to do. People are come.
Tell us about what you've done for your managers. He's known for one of the most generous things I've heard anybody ever do in the restaurant business or any kind of business. Tell us about your top performing managers, what you did for them.
The general manager at the restaurant level, I gave them 25%. I said, 25% is yours, and save that money and pay this off. So some of them succeeded and got more. A couple of them didn't succeed because sometimes everything has a cycle. The restaurant has a cycle too. So when you come down cycle, you have to have a deep pockets or rainy days on fund somewhere. But if you make money and pay the bills at home, you don't have that, then you're in trouble at that time, you lose the business. So they just like this tell you that prepare for the war when peacetime. When the war comes in, you don't have time to prepare for anything. So if you want to prepare for downtime, prepare it when you have uptime and save some money.
One of the things that you have in your notes is about the best leaders taking care of saving their employees' jobs. Tell us about the banker in New York, about your conversation.
I'm pretty famous.
No offense to bankers. One of our largest sponsors is a bank. Our bankers are sponsors.
None against you. Those are different bankers. They are different people. So they sell money and invest money. So I'm still very popular with him. He called me 3 days ago. He said, "You're going to do business with me?" I said, "Of course." It's not personal. But yeah, I asked him. I said, "Hey, one of the company in North Carolina called FATS, believe it or not." So we took over, and I was 40% plus management pay, and then they were 60%. They wanted to have control. So after COVID, we survived a bit, but then you can only have so much money, and if time runs out and money runs out, you're in trouble. So I asked him, the chief banker, I said, "Hey, we're gonna need a little money to put in this organization. I think another 6 months a year, we have to go slow and take care of people." He said, "I don't want to put the money. But by the way, why do you want to put the money in? Let it go bankrupt." Because he could write off it. I said, "No, I don't want to do that." He said, "Why not?" I said, people been working forever. Some now in age, their kids are in school. Some they have parents, sick parents taking care of. Some have something. I can't just overnight go and say we closing the door and some work 30 years. So he said, I don't give a damn about people. So I said, okay, hasta la vista, baby, I told him. And then I told my chief financial officer sitting there, I said, get him out of here. So you believe it or not, when he got to that gym, he make an opening for $2 million for the whole company. And I said, I will pay you the opening. Yeah, so that's all. Guarantee my company.
Let's do this, Aslam. We want to leave 5 minutes for Q&A because I know that there is a great entrepreneur and philanthropist, so there'll be some questions. Tell us about what you did about the roads and the bridge. This is cool. It's the story I was mentioning earlier in the introduction.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
Whatever is about barefoot and all that stuff going up and down, mountains, that's what the mountain. Then we don't call them in the year or something, but it's a mountain, very poor people there. So the middle school when I was there, the river was up here. Obviously, it was straight, not very tall, but we used to have a close up in the water, some shallow, some deep. In deep water, you cannot cross like this. You have to go with the flow, otherwise it break you. You fell in all over. So today, I put a huge big bridge on it. Very first thing actually, about March last year, whatever was it, where is it? So we just.
She's over there. Back
Yeah, we did, we just did that now. The bridge is complete. It's a very long bridge. Only government can build it, but God gave me that courage to start. Now I'm putting road in there. So I had a rough road, a dirt road we call it. So now we are paving the dirt road, putting cement on it.
So to make sure that you understand what he did, he had to cross that river every day to go to school, hold his clothes above his head, and then get on the other side, wipe himself off, put the clothes back on, then rinse and repeat on the way home. That's the river he built the bridge over. It used to take 6 hours to get from that village to that city, and now it takes 45 minutes. It's
Now the bridge cut the world off.
transformed people's lives. He also built roads to connect the 12 villages. And you're working on building a clinic.
Day before yesterday, we broke the ground. And this morning, they were all, everything is done over there by hand, by the way. They don't have this call the grain, call the bulldozer, call. So today, I saw this morning, 4 pillars are up.
Is that great?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take 5 minutes real quick for Q&A. Who's got a question you'd like to be able to ask one of the world's great entrepreneurs and leaders?
Yes.
So we have graduating students in the room that are high school graduates entering into post-secondary endeavors for the workforce. What employability skills would you like to communicate or report to our high school seniors that are in the room?
First of all, the very important, have a right attitude. And once you have a right attitude, then collect the knowledge, the position that you just acquired. I call it a bunker, things that you know, the things that you don't know. We all have. Even at the age of 70, I still don't know a lot of stuff. I call somebody, I find that stuff. So that bucket, make sure that that little bucket that you're going to use for that job is full. Otherwise, if it's a half full, as the fear takes place, it's filled with the fear of unknown. That we are human some of my friends the same age will confess that what we don't know is if you want to fly things on. So you feel that if fear takes place, your mind starts creating stories, whether they're true or false, doesn't really matter. You keep on coming up with some of this, I can use that word, the story nonetheless. Now that creates complexity. And complexity, when it settles in, it stops you achieving your possibilities. Because you question everything. Don't question, believe it in yourself. That it can be done. There is somebody somewhere in 2-3 mile radius knows someone. Find them, call them. I didn't even have somebody. I found that one guy in up in Massachusetts. He was CEO of Banquet in Boston, and then he became CEO of Popeye Steamer. And I used to call him, he butchered me for a couple of minutes and then he gave me some. But nonetheless, use people's knowledge if you can, very polite. Because they're not going to lose anything. More you use the knowledge, the more you learn. So that is when we don't have knowledge. We used to go and walk and walk. And if you spell this spell, then it's the thing you couldn't even find in a dictionary, Webster or whatever. And now there's a fingerprint. Google will tell you, you mean this? It's so easy now. So attitude is the most.
One final question. Who's got a question? Okay.
Or can you be our mentor?
Wants you to be the story.
Okay, I give you a car. You live around here.
Now, one other thing that Aslam, here you go, come get it. Wait a minute.
Happy to do that. There's my son call. If I don't know, I'll find somebody for you.
One of the things that Aslam talked about system-wide that helped as a leader was many, many years ago. He said the restaurants didn't know where they spent the day, and they knew what their sales were, but they didn't know anything else about the various metrics in the business. And so they put fax machines in every restaurant so that they knew all the metrics about everything and how they compared to everybody else. Because as you said, you kind of close on this and you with the power of information.
Well, I took over the company in Chicago. Chicago South Side is very tough, if anybody knows it. Not that easy. But I got fit in and wanted to help those people because they would have closed them. They were so bad. So I created a slogan, inform, influence, and engage. Because that's what's missing for them. Matter of fact, I do it till today, same thing. I found a company in Atlanta, their problem was different. Training to an environment. Now, after COVID, our environment totally changed. To 3 million people retired, 2 billion people went on a job. If you look at the YouTube or anywhere, if you travel as I do every day, every week, 2-3 days, you see the street full of people. In Oakland, California, our store was closed 3 days because our manager called the police because they were sitting at the door. Police came, they took them out, but next day they were there and throwing rocks. So it's a COVID depression that settled in with the people. And some got on drugs and some retired, didn't want to deal with it. Now we have to retrain the workforce. And that is the biggest expense for the businesses. And I know, yesterday from a little company in Indianapolis, I said, how much money do you need to get things done? He said, $64,800. So what are you going to do? You have to train them, otherwise you're not going to get expected result and you will be filing bankruptcy right now. And a lot of people and officers of the company, starting from CEO, everybody got down. because 2 years sitting at home, and whatever, how your wife treat you, you can tell your own stories, but it's not an easy sitting.
Aslam, thank you so much. One of the things that you learned was the things that you do on your way up in a single store, or a lot of the things that hold true, what you do when you own that store, when you own 50 or 100 or 300, or you're running TGI Fridays as $3.5 billion operation, the things that you did in the single store, or the disciplines that make you smart and make you successful on the largest stage. Let's hear it once again for Aslam.
What a fabulous speaker. Thank you, sir, Mr. Khan. What a wonderful story. Put people first. It's a wonderful message. Thank you to our award luncheon committee once again. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you very much for making this event possible. Thank you, nonprofit members and leaders. And of course, thank you to the Bowden Center. The potted flowers at the center of your table, we would like to offer that as a gift to whoever at your table has put in the most years of service in Northeast Tarrant County. And we'll let you guys sort that out. Thank you, Mary Frazier, and thank you everyone at the HB Chamber. They worked endlessly to make this possible. Uh-oh, I got a laugh out of that one. We debated on whether to do it the one who's the youngest or the one who's worked the longest, but we decided that those who put in the most years of service deserve those flowers to take home. And congratulations to our distinguished leadership recipient, Howard Shotwell. One last round of applause for Howard. Our next event will be May 9th breakfast at 7:30 at the Hurst Conference Center. We hope you can join us. Our program will be preparing our leaders for tomorrow, and we're excited for that program. So it is 1:01, and with that, I adjourn this meeting. Oh, and the nonprofits, please come up for a photo before you leave. Thank you very much for being here.